Welcome back to 4 and Friday with yours truly and 22-1 Thomas, just floating in outer space over there. It kind of looks like that, Thomas.
Just as a note, the title page has got the wrong date on it. It's Sunday racing, not Saturday.
Well, hopefully I did the right races.
Well, there's no racing on Saturday, so it would be tough.
Well, I think I don't know because what I did is I just lifted it off of the program and it said the 8th on there. So I don't know. Maybe it's tough maybe it starts the racing on the 8th here. I have no idea, but nonetheless, it is Sunday racing at Sha Tin. We got the races right. I believe.
Yeah. I mean,
so we're going to do races
for us
7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Right.
So morning racing. I usually put Sunday on there, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh, good. It says Saturday. So maybe I'm finally getting it right. And, of course, that's not the case.
Well, the Chinese New Year one was on Friday. So
more confusion.
Completely screwed that one up.
Yeah, well, we missed that one altogether. Hello, Jose Alameda. How are you today? Thank you for joining us. Hey, if you join us today and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. On the bar below, you see all of our different social sites. You can make sure you sign up for them. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Also, let us know what you think. If you have any selections, any picks, anything along those lines, comments, please share them with us. Of course, we share free picks every day. Today's free picks are going to be a guaranteed tip sheet. Will be for Friday. Will be Charlestown. Of course, every day we put them up. You can find a link to guaranteed tip sheet wherever we are at any time. Now, I know I screwed up the date, Thomas. Well, I just plagiarized it right off of the program that I used. So perhaps I should just go with something else. Venezuela, welcome. Let's go with race. Hopefully I got the races right. The first one is the TVB Charity Show Handicap. I hope I got all that right, Tom. Is that right?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I got to get something right. And then this one's going to be 1,400 meters on the turf course. And like we like to do, Tom, we like to take a look at where they're going to race. So they're going to run down here, make this turn, come back around. So a nice little one-turn race here. In the States, one-turn races, even on the turf, sometimes favors front runners. What do you think will happen in Sha Tin?
No, it won't be a front runner. Plus, in my opinion, this is a very strange race.
Okay, we'll find out why it's strange in a minute.
Well, it's weird.
Well, perhaps the start won't be too weird. So let's take a look at how they see this race. So it's a good to slow race in terms of the early pace. You can see
That's
here.
Number one on my list for weird.
We're good. Slow one. So taking a look at this, most of these horses want to be middle back in a good to slow turf race. I would suspect if that's the case, you probably want a horse that's a little bit closer to the front. So maybe it will act more like
look at that first line on the comments.
There's no leader in this race, although there are horses that like to go forward. Right? So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I'll try. As I said, I thought this was a real challenge. And I started with 14. Find My Love, my top choice. Last race, it raced wide, settled outside, was put under pressure, and ran 6th.
Don't you feel like this one should run next week on Valentine's week?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Previous
race, it ran 6th too, but that one had a little more trouble. He's won at this distance, but it's been a little while. 5 times he's either won or placed. So why pick? Well, I think it's a strange race, and I'd rather see if I can get a long shot here. Mm-hmm. And the draw is okay. Number 1, Beauty Crescent is going to be my next choice. Also raced wide, improved at the end. Problem with this horse is he's run 20 times and not won, but he's finished 2nd or 3rd 12 times.
Uh-huh.
So what do it's top weight in here. Again, strange. You put the top weight on a horse that's never won in Hong Kong. Number 7, Light Years Charm is my final selection. This would be the favorite and may still be the favorite but it drew post 14. Well, I don't care what track you're at. 14 is not necessarily the most advantageous place to be. And in a weird race like this one, it's even, I think, could be worse because you could get parked wide without any problem and run a lot farther than 1,400 meters. It's got the right jockey. He's going to have to do some work to get this one home if that's the case.
That's why I pay Zach Burton the big bucks. I'm going to start mine off with Gracious Express. The programs I was looking through, they have par racing times. So I checked their racing times at the distance, surface, that kind of stuff. And of course, you got to have a little bit of plus or minus margin for error in there. But this one's most consistently close to hitting that time goal for this condition in the race. Number 7, Light Years Charm. Yeah, Zach Burton on a horse that's probably going to be your favorite. And I also think it has the most upside. I know the post position's bad, but maybe that's offset because we haven't seen the best of what this horse has to offer, making only its 4th career start. Number 9, Sugar Ball. And I have no idea what the odds on any of these horses are because I didn't have that luxury today. This one's off to a decent start to begin 2025 and making the classic 3rd start after a layoff, after improving some in its last. And then I noted, like you noted, Tom, Beauty Crescent. That's a Tom horse. Win? Probably not, but really good shot, I think, to be in the money. So 3, 7.
Yet again.
Just doesn't like to win. I resigned from the show on good terms because I realized it's possible to make money in this game. Therefore, I'm private. So goodbye. All right. Well, good luck, Private Ross, with that. And you failed to mention my nice trifecta at the end where 50 cents turned into 105 times 3. So it's 315 if my math is correct. So with my $100 budget that I got to use yesterday. We don't use a budget here, Tom. Maybe we should do that going forward, like make little suggested wagers with a small amount of money.
Certainly can. There's some nice options available.
Yes.
At Hong
Maybe
Kong,
we'll do that. Well, at all tracks going forward. Maybe we'll both have like a $50 budget in our 5 races and spend it however we like. If we were going to do that, that would be race number 8 next. That is the TVB Cup Handicap. Is this like the top race of the day or what?
This should be. But certainly it's the most money, so I would go with that.
Yes, 3.72 million Hong Kong dollars. This one is going to be a turf course, 1,200 meters. We take a look at our sheet here again, and looks like this time, Tom, they're going to get to that turn pretty quick. I'd imagine you want to have a little bit of inside draw, a little bit of tactical speed, and be somewhat forwardly placed.
Yeah, and you got a smaller field in this race, so that does change the dynamic.
And if we look at the speed map in this one here, Harmony and Blessed has the outside barrier in a small field, and she'd have the pace to cross and get to the front and lead. So looks like they expect a pure front runner, a couple of maybe EP types, pressure horse, some closers in here. Raging Blizzard coming from all the way off the back, Thomas. So which one are you going to pick from in this group? From the front, from the back, somewhere in the middle?
I'm going to start with more towards the rear with number 4, Lucky With You. And its last 5 races, it's been racing against very good company and having average runs. But the last 5 races, it's faced Kai Ying Rising. And that horse set the track record broke the track record at Sha Tin. Then it broke its own record at Sha Tin. And it's won a few races. So that's pretty tough company. I think changing jockeys, I think that's good to get a win here. I'm going to take 3, Co-Partner Prance, be more towards the front. He's run well at this level. He tried a group 2 and finished last. He's back to a level I think he's capable. He ran 3rd by half a length, and he should be right up there near the pace setters. And then finally, I'm going to take Taj Dragon as my final choice. He's top weight here. He's faced, again, top company with very limited success. He does have a placing in a Group 3 handicap. I think returning this level is good. The only negative that I have with this one, and it's kind of a big one, is that his horse starts at the 1,200 meter and has never been on the board. So that's a bit of a concern.
Well,
He's definitely got the class. The question is that 1,200 meters, maybe that's just not his distance.
Not a horse for the distance at the course. Funny, 8 horses in this race, Tom. Between the two of us, we have 7 selections, and we spread it out across 6 different horses, which is kind of interesting.
We did a good job.
Yeah, we schemed. We did not. Raging Blizzard, the 2-horse, the closer for Richard in here. It's a horse for the Sha Tin course. 6 times out, 4 of them ending up in the winners enclosure. Ran at other tracks 7 times, has as many wins as I do on the horse racing tracks. 0. This is the one we do agree on. Co-partner Prance, the Zach Purton horse. I think there's probably going to be a Zach Purton theme, at least for me today. The distance and the surface are a very good fit for this horse. Magic Control, the 5-horse, my 3rd choice. Going to drop in class today. This is one of those races, Tom, that's going to be boom or bust. At least that's been my experience watching horse racing throughout the many, many decades. Unfortunately, I could say that now. I wish I couldn't. But you get these horses that have been off for a long time, extended stays off more than a year. They come back, they run decently in their first race after a year off. That second start off, that long break is either boom or bust. That's what I see with Magic Control. So if it booms, it could end up in the winner's enclosure. If it busts, you'll laugh at me when you rewatch this particular race. And then finally, number 6, Gorgeous Win. That's what we all want. Chance in its first up. It's run okay off the sidelines. And this is a horse that prefers the footing at Sha Tin, likes to track. So another horse for the course for me in race number 8, which will take us to race number 9, as we're going to go through the last 5 races. This one is the TVB Midlife Sing and Shine 3 handicap. I thought Midlife was supposed to be Crisis, not Sing and Shine, Tom. I think I got the wrong name for this horse. Race.
I don't know how that, what that would be in Mandarin.
Sing and Shine,
meaning, yeah.
The Midlife Crisis.
Even though they speak a lot of Cantonese down that area of the world.
I don't know. I've never been there. Can't speak either myself. The race shape here, we are looking at a lot of horses that want to be forward. So it looks like here it should be pretty competitive for the start. It could be fun if you're in a deeper field in the back trying to weave your way through traffic. I think you probably want to be somewhere in this range, unless they can get away with cheapest fractions, Thomas. Think there's any chance for that at 1,800 meters where they'll start all the way back in?
I think the good pace, but we go 1.25 miles, so got to keep that in mind.
It is a 1-turn 1.25 miles. I find that interesting. Is there any 1-turn 1.25 miles tracks in the U.S.?
Belmont.
Is it 1-turn 1.25 miles?
Yeah, they're going to have that now.
But before they didn't, right?
New track has a chute for 1.25 miles races.
And when is that going to be? Like next year, right? Supposedly?
No, 2026, 2020, somewhere in that area.
So sometime in next year. Is that going to open up for what next year's Belmont Stakes? Is that the goal?
No, they're going to be still in Saratoga.
In 2026?
Yeah.
So it's opening up after the...
yeah, that's the plan right now.
It's supposed to be a pretty nice complex, I understand, right? They have sports stuff and casino and all that stuff there from what I read.
Yeah, there were, yesterday or the day before, there was an article, a little thing about it in Blood Horse, about what progress they've made. And, they're going to have, 4 tracks there, 2 turf, all weather, and the dirt.
So they're probably trying to gear up for a Breeders' Cup there. Is that their hope?
Yeah, that's the plan. And of course, they're going to be closing Aqueduct.
Yeah, well, that should be sad.
2027, I think Aqueduct is scheduled to be closed. Either that or 2028, I'm not sure.
Closed for good, right?
Closed. Yep.
That's the way it goes. If Strictly only played Hong Kong for the last 11 years, then you should have some great insights to share with us, Michael. We'd appreciate it if you did. Let us know what your thoughts are for some of the card. Saturday night, early Sunday morning here. I erroneously put Saturday on our tile. I'll change that and put up the right one a little bit later on. Tom, hopefully
Oh, you like to drive yourself crazy.
it's a very short trip, Tom. It's actually farther to the refrigerator than for me to find crazy. What do you like here?
Did we look at the pace?
Yeah, we looked at the pace, we looked at the race, we looked at everything, and then I kind of got sidetracked because
I got
easy
lost.
to do.
What the heck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with number 3, California Totality. Last 2 races been at this distance. He got a win and a second. He's won at 1,600 meters as a top weight, so he's carried the penalty and been able to make a winning effort out of that. His last race was at Happy Valley, so he's going to come back to a 1 turn, and that may help. But he's got a good record, and he seems to be doing well. Number 8, Silvery Breeze is going to be my next choice. Ran 3rd last time out at 1,600 meters, but he made steady progress in the stretch, and we saw our positioning. He looks like he's going to be in the middle of the bunch. He's been wide and very wide in some of his races, but today he draws inside for really the first time in a while with post 2. He's a dead closer. So it's just a matter of where you position him, and that man Zach is up, and he's generally pretty good at getting wins, and this is his second ride on the horse, so I think that'll help also get a little more familiar with the horse. Finally, I'm going to take Lupo's Soltari. My final choice was ran 3 times at Hong Kong and failed to do anything. But he has to respect, really, his overseas record before he got to Hong Kong was pretty good. He ran 6 times, he won 3 of them, and was second twice. So maybe he's finally going to figure it out. I don't know. But maybe get a little price on him. He'll settle early somewhere more forward. And adding that 200 meter more, maybe what he wants. He wants a little more distance.
Needs that extra distance. Well, that was my thinking in taking the 14 Legends St. Paul's. I was just looking through the races, and this horse is always coming hard at the end. And I think the extra distance today helps a lot, or actually Sunday or Saturday, depending upon where you live. 3 horse, one we agree went on here, California Nationality. Is that what that is? California Totality.
Totality, I think totality.
It is. Yes. We got that. 1 for 1 at the track in distance, and this is probably going to be the betting favorite, I feel like.
Yeah.
Number 7, Pray for Myrrh. The horse there should be forward. I think could get away with proper fractions. Maybe doesn't win the race, but leads it, and it just gets kind of nicked at the end for maybe second, third by a half a length. And then finally, number 8, Silvery Breeze. You put that one on your ticket. It's kind of tough not to put Zach Burton on the ticket in a race that I really couldn't find a whole lot of horses in there that I had a lot of confidence in. So I know I could put my confidence in the jockey and see if he perhaps can get the job done, as you mentioned. Michael, where in the world are you coming from that you only play Sha Tin races? Are you in the States? Are you somewhere else? Let us know in the comment section. Wherever you're watching, let us know. It's always fun to see where people are finding us. We greatly appreciate all of the comments.
Definitely.
Again, if you haven't done so already, what do you say, Tom? You're calling from Baton Rouge. All right, down there in Louisiana. So if you like what you see and you haven't done so yet, kindly hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Follow us on our social sites. They're scrolling down below on the screen. You see that. If you haven't done so, follow us on X and also retweet. All the things that you're supposed to do to help us grow the show. We greatly appreciate that. If we can get to 10,000 this year, both Twitter or X and YouTube unlock extra tools that can really accelerate our growth. And only can happen with your help. So we'd greatly appreciate that. Race number 10, 2 to go, Tom. This one is the TVB Heroes in White handicap. So I don't know, is that like, you think there's nurses and doctors, or what do you think the Heroes in White are all about?
I have no idea.
Me either. This one's going to be 1,200 meters again. Starting here, making that quick turn. I still feel like, I know a lot of these are races internationally. They run a lot differently than they do in the States, where they just hustle out of the gates as fast as they can. But I still think that quick turn does does require you to have some tactical speed to be involved early on. This one looks like they got a lot of speed in here, so maybe the pace could be hot. Tom, do you think it could get hot?
Yeah, I think it's good to fast.
Yeah, good to slow. Well,
I know that's what it said. I don't know. There's some ones that seem to be wanting to be more forwardly placed. So that could put some pressure on and certainly help the closers.
Yeah, it says Triumphant more likes to lead, and he's a horse that can relax at the front so he can dictate a good slow pace. Well, let's see if indeed that's what happens. Tom, we'll try to keep our pace pretty brisk. Who do you like?
I think there's going to be a little more pressure up front, and I went with the undefeated horse, number 4, Hong Lak Golf. Perfect horse for you. Go.
Yes, I like to golf.
Yeah, runs first 2 starts, as I said, it's been setting close to the pace in its first start. Went off at 43-1. That's not bad numbers. And he ran last race. He ran at the rear of the pack, moved on the outside, past them all. So maybe versatile.
Sounds
like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say with 2 starts, but he's moving up in class, and we'll see how he does. Number 5, Call Me Gorgeous, my next choice. His last 2 starts in Hong Kong, he improved that last one. He ran 5th. But again, he started from a wide post position and was lengths back and had to make them up. And he did. It looked like he made good progress. I watched the replay and made good progress. So in the stretch, so that's why I'm going to take him. He does have a win overseas. Let's see the third try whether he gets it done. Finally, I'm going to take number 10, Riziki. And he's got 2 starts, and he seems to be improving from his first start. Last year, he ran at Happy Valley, and he was close to the pace and ran 4th. I see that again. I think this is maybe one that does push the pace a little bit. His inside draw is better. I think he'll get a better trip, and I think he'll, as I said, forwardly placed.
Michael from Baton Rouge here likes Alonso. Alfonso. Looks like Alonso to me. Well, I'm always putting my numbers all over the place in my brain. And in race number 9, he's looking at the 4-horse Lowrider. So keep an eye on those 2 horses as well. And if you, like Michael, have some thoughts about Hong Kong racing, you have some thoughts about any of the tracks here in the United States, next week we'll have some great thoughts over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet on the Risen Star Stakes, one of the big races for the road to the 2025 Kentucky Derby. It will be our wagering guide along with some free picks at Charlestown tonight. As for me, on Saturday night or Sunday morning, depending upon where you live, for race number 10, I'm going to start off with the same horse that you started off with, Tom, Hung Lak Golf. And I hope that translates to Rich is going to break 80 this year playing golf. And
well, let's cross our fingers.
Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, I'm shooting around the 84, 85, and I know I could take off another 4 or 5 strokes if I could just keep my concentration a little bit longer. As you mentioned, Hong Lak Golf, that golf has been 2 races, 2 wins, and as we learned many years ago from an Australian announcer, you just don't know how good a horse is until it loses. And I found this to be a so-so field. So even if it wins, I'm not sure how good this horse is, Tom. Righteous Arian is my next horse. Has shown that when you look at the times necessary to usually win this race, what we call average par speed figure, they have par times. This one has shown that it can hit that number, and the rest of this field has shown it cannot, or at least has not so far. The 6-horse, Triumphant More. There's that Zach Purton horse. This one's won 2 out of 3 starts. And then finally, another Tom horse makes my list, Everstar. Do I think it's going to win? The Australian Invader, probably not in its first try at Sha Tin. But does it have a strong chance to me in the money? I say absolutely 1,000% yes, it does, in my view. So 4, 12, 6, and 9. The last race for you and me today will be race number 11. Before we do race number 11, Thomas, do you have any sense of what we will do next week on
Flemington.
for Friday? Flemington, okay, fantastic. Down in Australia. Right. Beautiful. What's the significance of Flemington next week?
Yeah, there's just some decent races, but nothing earth-shattering.
I like the Australian racing because it starts like about 11:30 my time. And that's a lot of time where I just kind of get to settle down. The day is done, and there's nobody bothering me in the house for anything. I can kind of just sit back and watch the races.
Myself.
Not Flemington?
Black Caviar Stakes. That's a Group 1.
Okay, cool.
That's
good stakes race.
5 furlong race, 100,000 meters.
Well, we have a 1,400 meter one for the Fading Gold Handicap to close our show today. What was it I say that one was again? That one is, come on, Richard. 1,400 meters. Oh my Lord. We're going to start here and come all around the track like that. Again, we think that tactical speed that closes is probably the best way to find the winner's circle. A lot of horses in the back, however, though, Tom, and that could make for some problems. You can get blocked. You can get bumped. You can have all sorts of issues trying to weave through traffic. I see a setup like this. I'm probably looking for a horse like in this four right here, just from a race shape standpoint. Let these guys tire out, get the jump on these. What do you think?
Well, I did take one of the ones that can be more forwardly placed, and that's number 10, Test for Love. I definitely needed his first start in Hong Kong. He ran to the lead, then he settled back, he went wide, and then ran 9th. So kind of a screwy race he ran. Obviously short on form. But did show interest, and he's won twice overseas. The big question, second up, can he get it done? I think so. 2, Sky Trust, gonna be next choice. Shown pace and speed in its races until the last one, and then it went from 12th to 2nd. Missed by a neck.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure that one out. I think they were just trying something different. Let's take, the trainer said, take the horse back and make one run and see what happens. It ran well. I think it'll run well again. It does get the weight penalty, so keep that in mind. Number 13, Casa Rochester is going to be my final choice. Both starts, he's made progress. 6th in his last one, and then 8th in the other one. Yeah, he ran, but he's running in the straight. I mean, he's getting going. So this one is going to be that third up angle that you like. And I think he's making progress to go forward, and I think it's good enough to get on the board.
It's like a GTO, baby. It's a classic. Can't go wrong with that third up after a layoff. I mean, plenty of times I have, but
well, it'll be third. This will be the third race in Hong Kong.
Well,
but that would be a layoff too. That would be correct.
The 3s are 3s. Sky Trust, I like that one too, Thomas. You mentioned different running style. Just missed last time out, but even with that different running style, if you read the comments for that race, you'll see that the horse was blocked. Third start after a layoff, the GTO race. I'm going to just start calling them GTO races. Number 4, Storming Dragon. That one's going to go a little longer today. That helps. It's been falling just a hair short, a touch shorter distances with the rally at the end. So I think the rally lasts a little longer and perhaps lasts all the way into the winner's enclosure. Master of my universe. There's that guy again, Zach Purton. Look at that line. 1-1-2-2. Can't beat that, Thomas.
Yeah, but look at the draw.
Yeah, it's all right. He doesn't have to wait. I have him third. And then finally, the 7 horse Morgan Success. This one is an Irish Invader that usually, at least its resume says, that the first up is usually one of the best ups. So maybe comes off the bench hot and ready to go.
Only one on the all weather.
Yeah, they say they
transfer.
Oh,
yeah. I would. That's why I'm letting it run a race first.
I'm not. I'm going to hope.
I know you're not. You're going to roll the dice.
Daddy needs some new shoes. Isn't that what they say?
Be helpful.
Yeah. Leaning towards Sky Trust in the last race. There you go. The 2 horse. And then taken back from a wide draw, closed late, beaten by an easier trip. Yeah, it also noted in the comments, it said that one was blocked. So I feel like whenever there's a horse that has a little bit of race trouble, and it's big enough for the track translator, or what are those people called? I forget, chart callers. Yeah, big enough of that's chart caller notices it enough to make a note of it, that it probably absolutely impacted the outcome of the race. Again, next weekend we'll be at Flemington for the Black Caviar. It's Group 1, you said, Tom?
Yeah, it is Group 1.
Pretty solid race down in the land down under. We're looking forward to that. On Monday and Tuesday, Terry and I will do our normal. We'll go to Parks in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, see if we can pick off some winners there. Wednesday and Thursday, back to Gulfstream Park. Friday to Flemington. That's our full schedule for next week. To make sure you don't miss any of it, please, if you hadn't done so yet, follow us on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. You can also check out all of our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2day. That's on X, that's on Facebook, that's on Instagram, that's on TikTok, Blue Sky, all across the social media universe. Please let us know what you think about the show. Share our content with your friends, and then impart some final words of wisdom, Tom, before we get out of here.
If you can figure that first race we did out, you're a genius. Because I scratched my head on that one for a while.
I thought that was our job to figure out what they do. But
well, you know,
we have enough evidence on the tape, so to speak, that genius is probably not something we get called very often. Probably other words that are limited to 4 letters. All right, folks, that wraps it up for this Foreign Friday. Thank you for joining us, as always. Look forward to joining Tom next Friday for Flemington. Until then, we hope no matter what you're doing, it's filled with God's grace, God's favor, and most importantly, you turn out to be a genius, and everything that you do ends up in
the winner's enclosure.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday.